Taste of Home, where we celebrate favorite family recipes that have provided nourishment, contentment, and memories through the years. One summer in the early 1980s, my husband and I visited Marge Hedges in her home in Juneau, Alaska. I used to babysit for the Hedges family as a teenager and wanted to introduce my husband to Marge. Marge is a wonderful cook and a gracious hostess. She served a delicious crab quiche for our lunch. It was light and savory with a tender flaky crust and filled with sweet crab meat pulled from their own crab pots. I was inspired to learn how to make quiche. I went to work researching and developing a recipe. One of my first technical writing assignments at Cal State Long Beach in the mid-1980s was to document the process. I organized the process into three main sections: the crust, the filling, and baking. I used several cookbooks as references to pull together the best that I could find. I provided several illustrations as well. As you can tell, this is a much used and well-loved recipe, and created before word processors and the internet were available. Quiche Lorraine is basically an egg custard pie that can be filled with almost anything: bacon, seafood, cheese, vegetables. I recommend using a pâte brisée crust. It forms a light, flaky shell that can stand up to the custard as it bakes. I use recipes from The Joy of Cooking and Martha Stewart, but use your favorite, even a frozen crust from the grocery store. Butter your pie pan. I'm using a 9-inch pie pan, but you can use any size and shape. Cookie sheet with high rim, muffins or tart tins or ramekins. Line the pan with your crust. Crimp the edges to contain the custard. Keep the crust chilled until you're ready to bake. This time I'm using caramelized onions, ham, and Swiss cheese. To prepare the filling, saute a cup of onions until they are soft. Let cool and then add to the pie pan. Add 1½ cups of diced ham. Add 1 cup of shredded Swiss cheese. Add your spices. This time I'm using 1 teaspoon of beau monde. Other favorite fillings include spinach, sautéed mushrooms, bacon, parboiled asparagus. Use other types of cheese such as mozzarella, sharp white cheddar, Gruyere, Parmesan, and so forth. The sharper, the more flavorful. Here is the basic custard recipe that I use for a 9-inch pie pan. It's very flexible. I've used many different combinations of half and half, cream, and even milk. It can also be doubled or tripled successfully if you're making multiple quiches. 4 eggs, lightly beaten, 1¼ cup half and half, 1/2 cup cream. To prepare the custard filling, mix the egg mixture. Pour the mixture through a strainer over the filling into the pie crust. Straining removes the egg white blobs that do not incorporate well. Bake the quiche in a preheated 375-degree oven for 55 minutes. I have found that all sizes of quiche, from small tart to large cookie sheet, take the same amount of time to cook. You can place the pie pan directly on the wire rack. From experience, I typically place it on a lined cookie sheet to catch any overflow. The quiche is done when a knife inserted in the center comes out clean. Let the quiche cool for 10 minutes before cutting to allow the custard to set. You can serve the quiche hot, warm, room temperature, or even cold. Here the quiche is plated with a tangerine and pumpkin bread for a satisfying lunch. Quiche provides a taste of home, typically served as a delicious brunch on a vacation day with a slow start or brunch with family and friends.